Welcome to The Late Show. I am your host, Stephen Colbert. How's everybody doing? That is good to hear. That is good to hear. Like America, I continue to exist. With roughly 7 weeks until he takes office, President-elect Donald Trump still has a few things he's researching, like what does the president do? And now we know he knows it's not going to be that easy because Donald Trump's surrogate and flesh snowman Newt Gingrich recently told USA Today that he talked to Trump about Trump's new responsibilities as president. And according to Gingrich, Trump said, "This is really a bigger job than I thought." Well, what do you know? Who'd have thunk it?
I know, right?
Being leader of the free world is a bit harder than filming a reality show in your apartment. And we should have seen this coming. I don't know why anybody is surprised. We've gotten some warning signs. Just a few weeks ago, when Trump met with President Obama for his first White House tour, Trump was unfamiliar with the scope of the president's job, and his aides were apparently unaware that the entire staff of the West Wing would need to be replaced. Hey, White House staffers, I know you were kind of attached to the old guy, but them's the breaks. Super excited to get to know everybody. First order of business, destroy everything you believe in. Go team. Okay? Keep it light, don't cry. Keep it light, don't cry.
Keep it light.
And this is just happening now, right? Just right now, Donald Trump is in Indiana announcing his deal to save 1,000 American jobs that the Carrier air conditioner company was going to move to Mexico. He talked about saving those jobs throughout the election, and he did it. So Trump is keeping his campaign promises. Congrats to all the factory workers, unless any of you are Muslim, Mexican, or women, because he's going to keep those promises too. And we're getting And we're getting a sense now of how Trump is going to handle foreign policy. Because yesterday, the Prime Minister of Pakistan called Trump. And according to Pakistani officials, our president-elect gushed saying, "You are a terrific guy. You are doing amazing work, which is visible in every way. I am looking forward to seeing you soon. As I am talking to you, Prime Minister, I feel I am talking to a person I have known for long. Your country is amazing with tremendous opportunities. Pakistanis are one of the most intelligent people. I would love to come to a fantastic country, fantastic place of fantastic people." Now, since this was released by Pakistan, we don't know if these were his exact words, but it sounds like Trump. It's a fantastic country, fantastic place of fantastic people, home of the Fantastic Fours, Mr. Fantastic, full of fantastic beasts and where to find them. Okay, bye. Now, Trump closed the phone call.
Bombastic.
Trump closed the phone call by showing off some of his extensive international experience, saying, "Please convey to the Pakistani people they are amazing, and all Pakistanis I have known are exceptional people." That's not really diplomacy. That's your grandfather basing his entire foreign policy on that one guy he met. Mr. Prime Minister, do you know Tariq? Lives in Queens, heck of a guy, makes amazing shawarma. The best. Now, normally, presidents don't say stuff like that because all that praise of Pakistan might upset our other ally and Pakistan's sworn enemy, India. And both sides in that little love-hate relationship have that nuclear boom, boom, pow. Now, Trump's negotiation strategy seems to be telling both rivals they're his best friends. So we are officially in a new era of teenage girl diplomacy. Pakistan, I love you. You're like so smart. You are like so smart. So smart, Pakistan. India, you're totally my bestie. Don't tell Pakistan. They're so stupid. You're the best. They're stupid. Don't tell. Do you know Tariq? He's so cute. His shawarma is amazing.
Don't tell him.
It seems like every day there's another story about Trump's tweets. Like, it's his main way of communicating now. It's how he's gonna talk to the American people, how he's gonna comfort us in hard times, you know?
Right.
His toilet side chats. And The good news is you don't have to read his tweets. You can unfollow Trump. That's all right. I am not above taking pity applause. That's one thing I am not above. He's gonna Dwayne the Swamp, Mr. Twomp. Here's the deal. You legally don't have to follow his tweets. You can unfollow Trump, delete Twitter, go into the world, live your life. But the bad news is, starting January 20th, Donald Trump can send unblockable mass text messages to the entire nation.
Whoa!
Yes, the text is coming from inside the White House. Get out of there. Here's the deal. President Trump will be able to send text messages to every phone in America. The only person I would trust less with that technology is Anthony Weiner. Here's how it is. Here's the deal. Here's how the whole thing works. Okay, there are these things called wireless emergency alerts, or WEAs, okay? It's the same system that sounds out warnings if there's an impending disaster, like Donald Trump being able to text all of America. Now you're saying, okay, I'll just block those texts. Not so fast, Blocky. Because thanks to the Congressional WARN Act of 2006, participating carriers may allow subscribers to block all but presidential alerts. Yes, feel free to block alerts about floods and missing persons, but if Trump wants you to know how he feels about the cast of Hamilton, you will listen.
Oh.
Twomp. Maybe twomp is that feels, it's friendlier to say twomp.
Twomp. Yeah.
Mr. Twomp, please don't throw me in jail. Please, Mr. Twomp. Please don't tap my phone, please, Mr. Twomp. This system has been in place for a while, but so far, no president has used it. In his 8 years in office, President Barack Obama has never ordered text sent via the wireless emergency alert system, which, now that I know he could have, kind of hurts. At least on election day, he could have sent a quick, "You up?" Because I have not slept since election day. And what else? You know scientists? You know these scientist guys? The guys who believe in knowledge? Well, I'm gonna miss them. I'm gonna miss them and the studies they do. One recent study that the scientists have done, they found that owning a cat could make you more into bondage. Oh. It's true. Whereas owning a dog could make you more into doing it while a stranger sits in the corner and occasionally barks when he thinks you're hurting each other. I do feel sorry for dogs. They're trying desperately to be understood. They're just in the corner going, "Stop, stop, stop, I'm right here, stop doing that. I can see, I can smell you, stop." The study I was talking about, the study found that toxoplasmosis, which is a parasitic disease you can catch from your cat feces, is linked to sexual arousal by fear, violence, and danger in humans. So if you're a cat owner who's ever had the urge to have sex in a tray full of dirt, now you know why. The study also found that after the bondage sex, cat owners are much more likely to present their partners with a dead mouse. We've got a great show for you tonight.